Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Straight to the Point Tech. If you just so happen to be new here, please subscribe to my channel. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. On this channel, I mainly review handheld gaming PCs, but I also review other technologies. So if you would, again, please subscribe, like this video, comment, share this video, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop another video. Thank you for your support, much appreciated. So for today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Steam Deck OLED as far as how it runs with Resident Evil 9. Now, I know I said in my last video that I will review it on the Steam Deck OLED. I haven't gotten a chance to. I had to move some games and remove some games from my Deck OLED because I've had like a lot of games on here that I really wasn't playing anymore. So I had to make space for this game. But believe it or not, now we're good. And I just want to say that this game runs magnificent on the Steam Deck OLED. And I know it's going to sound crazy. Visually, it looks amazing. Like the visual fidelity on this OLED display is on par with my Asus PG27 UCD and PC RIC monitor. So without me talking too much, without further ado, let's get straight to it. So what we want to do is before we even, start playing the game itself, we have to get the settings on the actual device set up first. So first things first, we want to go ahead to this little lightning strike in this bubble right here. How you get there is you press this button with the 3 dots. You want to come over here to where it says performance and turn this on to where it says use per game profile, right? And then you see where it says frame limit. Crank this all the way up to 90 FPS unless you want it to match the actual device's FPS. You could drop it down to 60 and you can get a lock 60 frames per second. But other than that, I would turn on disable frame rate limit. Now, 60 FPS uses less battery, so we can lock it at 60 FPS if we want to. We can. Otherwise, whatever. We keep scaling mode on auto, scaling filter. We want sharp. I love a sharp image. I don't know about you all, but I love a sharp image. And you can select show pristine performance overlay if you want to see what kind of FPS you're getting. And, that's simply it right there as far as that. All right. So real quick, before we get into gameplay, let's check the settings. That's always first. So let's come over here to the options button and let's go over to graphics. Right, and as you can see here, I have display mode set to borderless window, HDR set to auto. The Steam Deck OLED does support HDR for those who don't know. I have sRGB on, but you can alternate between REC 709 and sRGB. It doesn't matter, but we keep it on sRGB for now. And then make sure you hit the right trigger to get you to the rest of the specs. So as you know, it already knows that this is a Steam Deck OLED, right? So primarily it's going to pick, the best visual everything for you by default. Now, this display goes up to 90 FPS, but to be honest with you, just keep it locked at 60 frames per second. Motion blur, I keep it off. I don't use it, but if you want to use motion blur, you can. It's not going to mess with anything. Totally up to you. I don't like it. And then as far as like everything else goes, it's already preset to low. Now, if you just so happen to turn on the game and for some reason the specs are all out of whack and, you see things looking crazy, just follow these settings here. But it should default to the low settings anyway. So just come over here to the image portion of graphics and make sure you have everything set to low and turn the frame rate on and lock it to 60 frames per second. Turn on motion blur and you should be good to go. And that's just pretty much it. Now we're going to get into some gameplay. And let me tell you, on this Steam Deck OLED, I don't know if it's because the PPI, like this is a 7-inch display and it's small. I mean, 7.4-inch display and it's small, but it just looks so crispy and good. It looks so good. It looks so good. I mean, and it's not much you have to do. I'm in the police station, I believe, whatever, hotel, whatever, I forgot where I am in the game, but no issues with frame drops, consistently getting high 80, high 90 FPS. Even like her hair looks good. Like, I don't know if Capcom utilized some AI feature technology on this game. Of course, it obviously detects the best settings, but I'm just getting stellar visual performance out of this game with no input lag at all. Like, as you can see, I'm running around with grace and the frame rates are staying consistent. I really like the fact that they also implemented a bunch of different features that don't require ray tracing to get the best visual fidelity out of this game. You know, some games you can't see the true beauty of it if you don't have ray tracing and path tracing enabled, but they just did a great job on this game. I don't know what Capcom did, but it looks really, really, really good. One thing I will say is that the battery, you know, on the Steam Deck OLED, I will say, isn't all that great with this game. It does require a lot to run, but at the same time, you know, give or take, it's something that, you know, we've been used to for quite some time. It's nothing that we haven't seen as far as like having, you know, decent battery life in games that require a lot to run. But other than that, I feel like Capcom needs to take, you know, a page out of their own book with this game moving forward. And every game, you know, that they make should have this level of not only detail, but feature-wise, whatever they use to get this game to function, to be able to do this on, you know, the next iteration of handhelds or, you know, whatever's coming forward, as well as other companies. If they do see this game, they need to take a page out of Capcom's book and, you know, go ahead and say, hey, maybe we need to do what Capcom did, you know, because Resident Evil 9 looks amazing. Now, with that being said, I'm in the hotel area of the game. I'm not in the police station or whatever. As you can see here, the butcher's in the kitchen. I don't want to spoil it for any of you, but there are no frame drops. I mean, it's just not like really taxing on the system, simply because it's not one of those games like Battlefield 6 or, you know, Helldivers 2, where there's so much depth going on in the background. It's just a game that functions and, you know, it does what it does. And the core focus is the actual, you know, characters herself, Grace, in the game. So it's so good looking. I just can't believe it. Other than that, you know, y'all, I mean, there's nothing else to it. I mean, the game looks good, and I gave you all the settings, you know, to try, and I hope you all enjoy the game and, you know, enjoy it on your Steam Deck OLED, because it's a great device. So anyways, thank you all for your support. This is Straight to the Point Tech checking out. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.